Happy Monday, everybody. We are back for another Monday Miracle on this beautiful, apparently spring Monday here in Milwaukee. And I want to talk about kids going to the dentist. And for a lot of you out there, parents, the dentist isn't maybe the most fun place for anyone to go. But for some of the kiddos that we work with, the dentist is like absolute torture. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because we had a kiddo that had to not only go to the dentist, but go to the dentist a little unexpectedly. And in the past, we've been working with her for about a month. In the past, Dad was like, there's literally no way we could have done it. She had a cracked tooth. They went, they were going to get it checked out. And as they were there, they found out they had to take the tooth out. So like totally overstimulation, the unknown, transitions, some anxiety. This little lady happens to go oftentimes into like shutdown mode. And so just a total, like, the situation as a mom or dad, like not a great situation to be in. But what was amazing is that were there some tears? There were, but they were able to do it. And not only were they able to do it, she was able to bounce back well enough that they were able to take her back to school to finish out the day. And when mom and dad brought her in for her next appointment, they were like, did it go perfect? No, but there's no way we could have done this before we started care a month ago. And they could not believe that she was able to recover fast enough from that experience to go back to school. Now, how does that happen? How does that have anything to do with chiropractic care that so many people think back pain, neck pain, headaches? That's not what we do here at Bright Beginnings. We are focused on the nervous system, and that's how we're able to help these kiddos with things like anxiety, with things like ADHD, with things like emotional regulation. And so what happens is when the nervous system, over the course of life, we have a lot of stimuli, a lot of stress in our environment. And when kids grow up, they come into contact with stress. And if their body is not able to process it the way that it should, it gets stuck in their neurospinal system and it sends constant signals up to the brain that they're in stress mode, which maybe they're not actually in a stressful situation, but their body is perceiving that way. And so now all of a sudden, they are just walking around, their baseline autopilot is fight or flight stress mode. And when that's the case, they're not going to respond to a situation like the dentist very well. They're not going to respond to something new. They're not going to respond to being told no. They're not going to respond to executive processing and having to do different tasks. They're not going to be able to focus very well. Maybe they don't sleep very well. Maybe they're constipated, right? All of those things because their system is locked in more of a stress, fight or flight mode. And all of those things don't become as important to the body when we are in that. And so the opposite of fight or flight mode is rest, regulate, and recover, or more of the parasympathetic side of the nervous system. We talk about it like gas pedal, fight or flight, brake pedal, rest, regulate, recover, heal, digestion, all of those really important things. So how do we find out if your kiddo is in that fight or flight mode? We have scans that do that. It's a really cool scan. It's called heart rate variability, and it literally measures the frequency within the heart rate to tell us, is your kiddo spending more time in fight or flight? Or are they have that good balance, which is exactly what we want. Because fight or flight, we talk about it in a negative way all the time. It's only negative if it is a constant, right? If we're actually in a stressful situation, we want our body to rev that gas pedal. But the second we come out of that stressful situation, we should be able to calm and regulate, which is exactly what happened here at the dentist. Yeah, the dentist is probably a little stressful. It's okay for her nervous system to get ramped up, for her to get a little upset, for her not to love having to get a tooth pulled when she wasn't expecting it. But then she's able to recover because we started to create a nervous system that has the ability to do both, as opposed to for the past bit, she had really been stuck in fight or flight. And when she had come into contact with that, she would just go into absolute shutdown mode. And she also really struggled with constipation because digestion is one of those big things that happens in more of the calming side of our nervous system. You're not gonna be able to poop well if you're in constant fight or flight. So just an awesome story there, a perfect example of the things that we're trying to help kiddos with here. It's not only, hey, help with focus, it's not only help with emotional regulation, but it's help them take on real world scenarios, be more adaptable, more resilient. That's what it's all about. Send us a message if this sounds like something that your kiddo could benefit from.